Okay, here we are on the next little video. I'm sorry, the other one, the volume was way low on it, so hopefully you can hear this one a little bit better. So we looked at appointments, calendar, how to do the personal activities. We saw how to change one of the we saw how to change one of these things by changing a date. And so all of these are related to dates. So let me ask you a question about the dates. Let's go look at properties. And let's look at this property right here. So what I have right now is I have all of these dates, or the listing date and expire, escrow, open, close, etc. And then under occupancy I've got all these other dates over here. Initial occupancy due, redemption due, I think you said you're not using that right now, personal property due, and these have completed dates on them. And then we have a CFK offer date, expire date, and completed date. And the same with eviction notice date, schedule, and eviction completed date. So 3 dates associated with those. My question to you is, since we're building a transaction-based system, the way this works right now is if you want to change one of those dashboard elements up there, you come in manually, just change these dates. But it seems to me, if we're building a transaction-based system, that some form or some transaction should work on these dates. In other words, there should be maybe a CFK screen where you would click on an activity called create a CFK, and it would ask you for these dates and maybe I don't know, whatever else goes on that particular thing. I would think especially an eviction notice would need some more documentation or something. Anyway, for right now, until you can tell me how these are related to a particular transaction, the transaction is basically you go in here and you fill in the date. So if I come back home and I look, I have one with an initial occupancy date, and if I go select that one and go to occupancy, you can see that there's a date, initial occupancy date, it's in the past, there's no completed date. If I were to put a date here, it would go away. That's what we looked at last time. Okay, so those dates, I need some clarification as to where they come from, or for right now I'll just leave them like they are. Now let's look at the other kind of thing, which is the action list. Let's look at this particular property. It has no action list, and we're going to go back to properties, and I just saw something that made me think that I didn't update the system yet. So I'm going to close off on this video, and I will make a couple of corrections, and I'll come back and finish this topic. But right now what you just saw was the question that I want to ask you, so maybe you can answer that for me. Alright, thanks.